Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me, Rob, and we got a show for you guys today.
Oh, it's a disco.
It's a disco stew.
Disco. But yeah, guys, we have a lot of news to go over with you. Obviously, we're a little longer to wait in between episodes we usually had because yesterday was Christmas. So first off, of those
and Chanukah.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy any other holidays we might have forgotten at that point there.
Happy if you don't celebrate anything. Happy day off.
Exactly. Happy Chinese food and a movie day. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is for you. I hope you enjoyed it. So, we got a lot of Giants news to go over with you guys here. We got, of course, our NFL picks to go over this week here. And, of course, we also have to go over the games we had real quick there on yesterday, and the one that's on right now is part of the package here for that week of picks here. So we'll see how things go. But we got to, of course, as we always do, start off with the latest and greatest and not so greatest Giants news at that point. It's a lot more recently. So greatest lately, that's for damn sure. We start off here with a rumor that Cam Ward is destined to be going to the New York Giants.
Ooh.
And guys, I'm going to fair warn you on this. I feel like this may be a topic for the next couple months, at least. Next 5 months or so.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, I mean, assuming it all goes as planned and we continue to lose, maybe the first overall pick, there's going to be everybody and their mother making claims on whether who's going to be the first pick and who's going to be the Giants pick and, what we're going to do and what trade offers we're getting. But right now, we do have Matt Miller, ESPN draft insider, who on Twitter said, here's my December 23 prediction. The New York Giants select Cam Ward, QB Miami, with the first overall pick. Now, listen, guys, it's not crazy. I mean, guys, one of the top two prospects at the position that the Giants are probably going to take, quarterback. The big question is really where you think he is. Is he number one? Is he number two? Who does number two work for?
Who does number two work for?
But I feel like this is like one of those things like everybody is saying Shedeur Sanders. And I feel like when you say just Cam Ward, you're just basically throwing out there the other possible name to be the one like I am different.
Yeah.
Something like, I don't know. Like if you don't name any kind of source whatsoever, even just say people in the building are telling me or something along those lines. I'm not saying give a name, but I feel like when you just say randomly that, you're just doing something for shock value because it's going to be an article and, idiots like us are going to talk about it.
100%. And what's going to happen come draft time, and this does happen, I call this back in December before the season was over. Look at me go.
Retweet this. Do they still call it retweeting or is it re-Xing? What's the word we use now?
It's X going to give it to you.
But it's like I don't know. Like I said, I get it. I don't expect an exact source.
Side note:
nobody ever gives that, but it just seems
talk about the holiday season. Have you ever seen DMX sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I have. It's spectacular.
It's amazing.
It's spectacular.
It shows you how to spell nonetheless.
If they ever redo Die Hard, it'll be in there. As they're in the limo.
Yeah. I know dancer. I know the dancer. I know.
All right. Let's get into the next bitter news here for the Giants. And that's somebody who, I got to be honest with you guys, there's a guy in ESPN who a lot of people listen to. And he's got some sources, and I get that's part of why they listen to him. But let's be very frank in saying this guy was a horrendous quarterback. And for some reason, now as an analyst, this guy said it must be true. Like
he knows it all.
He knows it all. He's like he knows all about the quarterback position, even though he wasn't a good one himself. And I don't mean to be like a jerk about it. Like obviously he's a much better quarterback than I am. But it's like to me, when this guy says something, it shouldn't be taken as much as when Tom Brady says something or Peyton Manning or, somebody like that. But Dan Orlovsky, basically what goes over his plan he has for the New York Giants there. And like I said, it's not 100% wrong. I'll put it that way. But I look at it and go, I don't know if he's 100% right either. So he says, at the end of the day, you've completely lost sight of organizationally who you've been. And also acknowledge that the Giants need a quarterback. Ooh, breaking news. Who would have thought that?
What?
Here he says, I remember watching the Giants as a kid. The name that consistently comes to mind is Rodney Hampton. And remember their ability to run the football. The name that comes to mind is Brandon Jacobs for me. Those guys and defensive ends, Justin Tuck and O.C. Umenora. First off, the name that comes to mind. And then another damn random name that comes. Which name comes to mind, Dan? You can't use two run like that. The name that comes to mind is this one and that one.
In case I was wrong, there's one more. Esquire.
And third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah. I say good day, sir.
Eric Ward. It's like, but he says, I think the Giants have lost sight of what makes them the Giants and what was their calling card when they were actually a good football team. And they would go on those runs was they could control football games on both sides of the ball. Yes, you got to get a quarterback, but you have to rebuild your line. I remember David Deal and Snee, and that's when they were at their best. They don't have those guys anymore. So we could talk about all the pretty pieces, but the Giants organizationally should be a line of scrimmage organization, and they haven't been. Guys, he's half right.
Yeah.
He's half right. And I'll even go to say that he's not even, potentially any right to a certain degree, because I feel like they haven't lost that. They just sucked at drafting it.
Yeah. That's pretty fair. And like they've been really good through the years picking up as well.
What I say? So let's go to the offensive line for a second. Andrew Thomas, Giants draft pick. Evan Neal, Giants draft pick. John Michael Schmitz, Giants draft pick. Josh Azudu, Giants draft pick. And we're just talking, this is the first 3 rounds, guys. In the last few years. This is not a, we're not mentioning the Marcus McKeithans of the world. They've just haven't been good at drafting them. Jury's still out in JMS to a certain degree, but he's definitely not been what I hoped he was going to be. Evan Neal's obviously been Evan Neal. Josh Azudu was a reach we said that when he first got drafted. He was a reach pick, But like I said, you look at this stuff and they're trying. They're just not trying efficiently. Does that make sense? Is that probably the best way of wording that?
Yes. They're falling on their face when they're trying.
It's like, you guys haven't tried at all. All you've done is use all these draft picks.
Yeah.
And sign people like crazy, like Greg Van Roten and the John Runyon Jr. And
you guys only spent the most draft capital on offensive lines and line picks.
All you've done is draft capital and free agents. What else have you tried?
Yeah.
You haven't traded for one player. What do you want? Again, and I get it. He's not wrong that we're not built up properly through the trenches. That part he's not wrong on. But to sit there and make it seem like they haven't tried and they've lost that identity, no, they have their identity. It's just they're that person who's butt ugly that looks in the mirror and sees something beautiful. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You're like, do I agree with that or not?
Yeah, like,
things to make you go, but I'm just saying it's like that's where you're at. And then you go to like the defensive side of the ball. Dexter Lawrence is a Giants draft pick, the best damn nose tackle in all of football. Then you go Brian Burns, who we traded for, gave $30 million a year to last year. Kayvon Thibodeau, who was a first-round pick a couple of years ago. Azeez Ojulari, who was the second round pick a couple of years ago. Oh, yeah, they haven't done anything.
No, not at all.
And again, you could question the effectiveness of what they've done. Dexter Lawrence, slam dunk pick, by all means. Brian Burns, damn good player. We overpaid, but damn good player. Kayvon Thibodeau was thought to be a stud coming out of the college, so maybe he hasn't quite lived up to that, but you can't blame them for drafting him, I think, because most people were happy when they did.
I was about to say, We were, and other teams wanted him as well.
That was a consensus flop. What I mean is everybody wanted him, and now nobody would have wanted him.
Correct.
I mean, that's what it is. Nobody. It wasn't like people were like, "Oh my god, Kayvon Thibodeau, that was a reach." People were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he dropped to 5." So
pretty much, yeah.
That's what happened, And then you go on to, Azeez Ojulari, same thing. Like he dropped in our laps the end of the second round pick, and we were like, "What the hell? Like this is an amazing get for us. We could have drafted him first round and been happy." And that's legit what people were saying. So again, I don't think they're not trying to establish the line of scrimmage. And I can't quite get out of what he said if he was kind of insinuating that we weren't, but it kind of seemed like that. Like, oh, we have to build the trench. Well, no shit. That's why we keep drafting the trenches. We just haven't been good at drafting. We put the capital. It's like we put the work in. It's like the guy who goes to vocal lessons that embarrass himself at the karaoke bar.
It's pretty much like, hey, I'm a professional singer. What do you sing? Every Friday night karaoke. Yeah. Friday night, Saturday night, Friday night.
What's the stage, you drunkard? That's what it is. Like Joe Shane is that drunk guy at the karaoke bar that sucks. It is what it is. Oh my god!
Why it comes over to a good one.
Oh my god!
Joe Shane.
No shame, Joe Shane. Oh, we should start calling him that. I like that.
No shame, Joe Shane. I like that.
I like it. I like it. There's a hashtag coming. Hashtag no shame, Joe Shane. See if we can go on, guys. If you like it, put the hashtag in the comments. Hashtag no shame, Joe Shane. All righty. Let's talk about the rest of the Giants news here for you guys. So, it's not a program during the season without us talking about some injuries. That's just the life with the New York Giants.
Injuries?
Injuries, no sir.
What do you say?
Drew Lock, though, is starting against the Colts here, and we said this week that they wanted him to start. The question was going to be if he could start because of the injury he suffered. He had an MRI in his shoulder. Apparently, everything passed with flying colors. He is good to go. Did someone say flying colors? Oh, yes.
Oh, look at those colors. They're flying everywhere.
Can't help myself. It's a new toy. So, but yeah, so everything came back negative. He's good to go. He's 6 games, obviously, so far. 3 of them starts. He's completed just 52.7% of his passes for 624 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. And the Giants have gone 0-3 in his starts. Guys, great. I don't know about y'all, but I am very, very happy to hear that Drew Lock is starting again. Oh, yes, the full tankathon is on.
Fire away.
Full tankathon is on. We're not going to let the Eagles beat us. We'll talk about that in a second. I saw the comment of that, guys. We will get to that later on in the program here. But, yeah, it is crazy that I feel like the Giants have gone out of their way to want Drew Lock to start. And it's like, you want to talk about trying to squash the tanking rumors? You want Drew Lock 0-3, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions? Again, it's not all of them. I know that, and we're not trying to say that. But he has done nothing to show you he's a good quarterback. If the Giants legitimately want a chance to win, and I cannot believe I'm saying this.
Boyle.
It's time for some aluminum Boyle here. It's time for some Tim Boyle to go. I mean, that's where we're at.
Let's go pop that Boyle. Let's go.
Yeah, like who should be in the game if you really wanted to win right now. He's looked the best under center so far of the 3 options you got. And that's really sad, but that's what you got. So can't change that now. So like I said, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see if there's a shorter leash on him, considering everything there. But let's be honest, guys. Does anybody actually expect us to beat the Colts this week? We're not even doing the pregame. There's no point.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? Have you watched the last 10 weeks of football? That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know what the Colts are going to do? They got a pretty good guy behind the center that's not their quarterback. Oh, JT, that's right. They're going to run the ball very slow and play good defense. And they don't need to play great defense because we don't have a good offense.
Yeah.
And our defense is all banged up. So is our offense. So they don't have to do much on offense. They just have to keep moving the rock forward.
Keep on moving.
And they could do that. They could do that. And that's what's going to happen.
Like I said, we're just not good, guys. We're not good. And the idea of starting Drew Lock again, to me, only helps with that. Let's over under how many planes. Do we get that yet? I want a squadron. I want people to go, oh my God, is there an air show nearby? Like, that's what I want.
I want all the drones over New Jersey to go over East Rutherford for the game with the tail on it.
I'm still disappointed there was none in Georgia. I guess because the dome was closed, they didn't want to waste their money, but it's like that would have been hilarious and embarrassing at the same time. So
it doesn't matter because everyone outside will see that plane.
Oh, I would have looking. I'm telling you, my head was up the whole entire time walking up that stadium to see the thing was flying. It was hilarious. All right, guys, let's get into another injury because again, it's the Giants. What we do? Raheem Lane to the IR. The guy wasn't even a Giant long enough to have enough Giant pitchers for us to find a Giants pitcher and use a Cardinals pitcher for him. My God.
What's our IR up to? 27,000.
Big than our 54-man roster, 53-man roster at this point. It's insanity. Like, it's like, I feel like it's got to be at least 60. That's got to be. So yeah, we got 53-man roster and a 75-man IR. It feels like. Dan Tuggan on X said, "Here's how the season is going for the Giants. Safety Raheem Lane tore his meniscus Sunday per source. Lane tore his ACL last October and signed with the Giants in August and spent the entire season on the practice squad, being promoted to the active roster on Saturday. He suffered the injury against the Falcons in his first extended action since his last major knee injury. And guess what? Another knee injury. That's what he got now. Knee injury after knee injury. But I can say this. This is not the MetLife turf monster. That is not.
It was in Atlanta.
Yes, it was in Atlanta. This was the Atlanta turf monster, which comes with barbecue sauce and a peach.
And some sweet tea.
Oh, sweet tea is really good. It's really good. And they do it at Publix, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Publix sweet tea is amazing. The pub stuff, sweet tea. But they do a fried sandwich. It's amazing. A little dill aioli sauce. Ooh, I'm getting hungry now.
Right?
That's
you know what actually reminds me of Publix up in the tri-state area. I can't say New Jersey, New York, but in Bucks County, no, is Giant. That's
Food Giant. Is that what it's called?
It's called Giant. I thought it's called.
Okay.
It's called Giant. That's a grocery store.
Giant fan shops at Giant.
Yeah, it's a grocery store, just like ShopRite or Wegmans or any other, but they do the same deals, like where you can make your subs right there, and pretty darn good.
A Giants fan and a Giant fan.
Yep, I'm a Giants fan going into Eagle territory, going to Giant.
Ooh.
With a double smile on my face. Going,
Tell you, there was actually a lot of Eagles fans at the Giants-Falcons game. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what are you doing here? Do you get lost?
Yeah, wrong bird.
Go to your home.
Yeah, did you guys get lost in migration? Like, what's going on?
And it's funny because it was a 1:00 game, which the Eagles also played at 1:00. I'm like, you're not even watching your own team. What are you doing? Stop this.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about another injury here. And this one is a potential major one here. And that's Malik Neighbors, who has a toe injury now. How many injuries does this man get per year? It's crazy. I feel like every week he's on the injury list and for something completely different each week. Like, I'm waiting for there to be like, oh, Malik Neighbors is questionable with a medulla oblongata injury. Like, what's going on? Like, how many injuries does this man have? But like I said, now he's got a toe injury. He said to reporters on Monday he's going to be a game time decision. He's missed 2 games this season, obviously with a concussion. He's also dealt with a groin injury, knee injury, and hip issues this season. Now he's got 969 receiving yards. He can become the first 1,000-yard receiver since Odell Beckham Jr. in 2018, which is 31 more yards. He needs just 3 more catches to become the first rookie receiver in franchise history to reach 100. That would also make him the first receiver since OBJ when he had 101 receptions in 2018 to break that century mark. And, of course, he's also got the issue of him trying to get the rookie record overall. He needs just 8 receptions to tie the rookie record of 105 receptions just set last year by Puka Nacua, the Rams.
Puka.
He just trail rookie tight end Brock Bowers, who has 101 receptions currently by 4 catches. So, but still, either way, he's going to be number 1 or number 2 if he can play the next 2 games probably in that rookie record. And he's also, Neighbors is with reach, again, if he plays both these games, the single-season franchise record of 107 receptions set back in 2009 by Steve Smith.
Oh, damn.
Steve Smith.
Listen.
Senior, not junior.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Not that Steve Smith. For those young Giant fans that might not remember Steve Smith. But talk about underrated player who was so good for a couple of years like that with the Giants. So many receivers like that would just somehow it's like Eli just grew them in a lab somehow, and they left him, and then they left their talent.
Yeah, I met him at back in the day. This is how you know how long ago it was. Obviously, he was still a Giant, but Park East.
Park East, woo!
He did a meet and greet, and I thought that dude
closed now, right?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what it is now. Maybe we went back to Steak Exchange. Who knows?
When last time I went there. Well, in that drove by, I should say, which was in I think June, and I think it was closed. That used to be like the local bar for everybody who graduated from Raritan High School in Hazlet.
Well, Park East, that became one of the biggest. Park East became one of the biggest bars in New Jersey.
Well, what happened? Why did it close?
A lot of underage drinking, a lot of fighting, and a lot of trouble in the neighborhood.
Oh, anyway, I did look it up because Steve Smith had that one amazing year. And that was 2009. He had 107 catches, 1,220 yards, and 7 touchdowns. It's a hell of a good season. But that was the only good season he really had like that. Everything else was 500-600 yards.
Yeah, what was the stats? It would say he's 5'9", 190 pounds. It's no way.
Yeah, he was. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm on Pro Football Reference right now. They see what they give him. 6 foot even, 195 pounds. But there he had 2,641 career yards. Had 1,220 in one season. It's like he had half his career yards in that one season. Oh my gosh!
I met that guy when I was in good shape. I'm 5'10", and I was probably 205 pounds, 210, and I dwarfed him. I
remember being in good shape.
Yeah,
that's way back in the day.
50 pounds ago.
All righty, guys. Well, let's give you guys some good news as well. And that's because we got a guy coming back that we have been excited to potentially see what we got here. Deontay Johnson has been activated officially to the active roster. Obviously, he was kind of like the superhero of that Giants-Lions game that we had week 1 of the preseason there. Had a really good game, had made a lot of big plays, and people were like, oh my God, what happened? Where'd this kid come from all of a sudden? And he was making against the starters. It wasn't like he was in the fourth quarter making these plays. He was making in the first quarter. So I should say starters in that game, not starters overall, obviously. But
yes.
I should clarify that. Or somebody's like, he wasn't playing the starters. They benched them. I meant the starters of the game. But he suffered an ankle injury in that preseason opener and remained on the IR since Tuesday. So he was signed, obviously, as an undrafted rookie free agent out of Toledo back in 23 there last year. Spent all last season on the practice squad. He said, definitely felt like I took that next step from year 1 to year 2. Getting injured was hard, just knowing that all my hard work had paid off, but I couldn't play. At the end of the day, whatever happened. I'm thankful I'm still here. Now, this is a big thing, guys, for us, because Micah McFadden is one of the very few free agents we have. I'm not saying that 2 games is enough for you to go, oh, he's better than McFadden. Let's move on from McFadden. But it kind of sets the tone for how important this is going to be for us overall as a whole. So if we have to go, okay, well, you got to resign Micah McFadden. Deontay Johnson kind of bombed out, But if Johnson's good, you go, okay, well, here's our number. Either McFadden's going to take it or we're going to give Johnson the shot, maybe draft somebody else or sign somebody else and fill it up that way. It will change how you evaluate this position in the free agency in the offseason here. Now, they did also waive to make this move here defensive lineman Casey Rogers. Two games this season so far. He took 33 defensive snaps, 9 special team snaps, but did not register any statistics whatsoever. It's still, 42 more snaps in the NFL than I ever played. But, it's, I think it's safe to say Casey Rogers might pop back in the practice squad, but I don't think they hold much hope for him. I mean, considering how many injuries we have in this defensive line, and he really didn't get much time at all. I mean, we talked about it before. Like, they were dropping like flies at the defensive line position, and now they're cutting him even just to make room for a linebacker.
That goes to show you like how much they think about his play.
Yeah, really does. So, all right, guys, let's pay the bills real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and go through the comments there. So if you have any more comments or any questions, feel free to pop them in there real quick. And there's one I feel like we're going to go on a little bit of a rant on here, but like I said, I kind of alluded to it before, so we'll do that one last.
Definitely, Deb.
Skip you over. That's not a bad thing. That means it's going to be a segment that we're going to feel like we're going to be on for a second. So, all right, let's pay those bills.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, you can also go ahead and support the show by
doing
Super Chat on YouTube or doing the setting stars on Facebook there as well. And, of course, the freeway. You can also go ahead and just like and subscribe to the show. Maybe share it with a Giants fan you might know.
Yeah.
While we Misery Loves Company.
Eating some snow.
Together on the show and talk about the misery of being a Giants fan. But anyway, we do appreciate you guys for watching the show, supporting the show any which way or shape or form you guys are. But the big one, like I said, if you can hit the subscribe button on YouTube, that's a big one for us right now, guys. All right, let's get into the comments here, and then we'll get into our picks here for the week. That was mine there. Deb says, let's get the number one pick in the draft first. My nightmare is that we win a game. Yeah, trust me, I'm in the same boat, and I know people think it's ridiculous, but you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Bradley Sands says, I'm not sure if you guys answered this. Oh, this one we're going to get to in a minute here. And then Deb says, but ugly. Good one, Drew. All right. Let's get into Bradley Sands here and their comment. It says, I'm not sure if you guys answered this yet, but what are you guys' thoughts on the Eagles possibly losing on purpose to affect our draft? And I've heard a lot of this rumor, guys. I've heard a lot of this rumor. And here's what it boils down to. The Eagles have nothing left to play for at this point. They're just trying to get healthy and get into the postseason. So I don't think they're going to be probably playing their starters next week when they play us. I don't think they're going to be purposely losing. But I don't think they'll be perfectly, upset either if they were to lose to us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they'd be screwing us.
It's also, here's another way to look at it as well. Yes. They clinched. They won the division. Yep. Hands down. There's no way Commanders are coming back. There's no way they're not making the playoffs.
Yep.
They got home field advantage. So when it comes to next week, and it's time to play them, they might start Jalen Hurts to make sure he's good because Jalen Hurts is playing this week. They also like beating up on the Giants.
They do.
But
let's be honest, they've done it very well for the years.
They have. But here's also the thing, too. They are going to the playoffs. No matter what happens. The only thing they have to worry about is what seed they're going to be at.
They don't have to worry about that, to be very frank with you at this point. So they're 12-3 as of right now.
Yep.
The Lions are 13-2 and own the tiebreaker. Then you got the Rams at 9-6 in the division, and you got the Falcons and Bucks both at 8-7. Neither one of those teams is going to leapfrog the Eagles, obviously.
No.
So the Eagles could literally lose out the rest of their games, hypothetically, and still have the number 2 seed. So I'm just like I said, I'm looking at I don't think they're going to do it on purpose, but I don't think they're going to be upset. That's where I think, and it's especially when you got people that aren't starters playing, then of course you're gonna look at this and go, this is their chance. Of course they're gonna try their best because this is their chance, not even to show the Eagles, but this is their chance to show
the NFL
what they can do,
But I would look at this game more like a preseason game. And that's exactly what I was going to allude to. It's an addition to be a player. Well, now that you're talking week 18 instead of preseason for next year.
Now,
this is what I could do on the field. This is what I could do compared to like everything else. So like this is kind of like a preseason game in order for the players to audition for, like I said, the Eagles are the teams, like you said.
Yeah. Now I did look it up, by the way. Jalen Hurts is still out. So
I did hear from CBS. I was listening to something today that he was practicing. Like he looked good from coming back to concussion protocol, which is part of the reason. If you look at the money line, we talk about the spread picks. Why it's such a big spread in that game? Because if he was out, it would probably be closer to a 3.5 and not that 8.5, 9, whatever it's at. So,
then what they're saying right now is that he's hasn't been officially ruled out. But they did say 2 straight did not practices for him.
Which doesn't mean he's not playing.
Well, you were saying they were saying the radio he's practicing. According to this, he's not. And then they're saying he's got a clear concussion protocol to play on Sunday. So, I think it sounds like he's going to – I mean, honestly, if he's not going to play Sunday, I would sit in the rest of the year to get him healthy.
Yeah.
Why would I risk getting him hurt out there, having another concussion when I need him for the postseason? Not to mention the fact that, you want him healthy because it's the right thing to do.
I mean, Drew and I are going to talk about this later, but I honestly, if you look at the if you look at the sports bets, because it came out, I think CBS had it at 9 on Tuesday, and it's still pretty high.
We got a 6.5 right now as of recording this. So, like I said, I don't know. I think they're gonna start sitting the rest of the year. I really do. There's no reason to play him. All you're doing is risking hurting a guy you need for the playoffs.
I understand what you're saying, but some coaches don't care about that, and they want to look good on paper, and they'll play the players no matter what. I'm looking at you, Dan Campbell.
Have you seen the way that Nick Sirianni cried in the national anthem, the Super Bowl? That man cares. That's a man that cares right there.
If we're going to be honest, it's because I believe his sister is deaf, and he was really teared up by the interpreter. What is said behind the scenes?
Wait, what?
Oh no, I was talking to a DC interpreter, like someone that actually works for
Yes, and I think I know who you're talking about too as well.
Yep. And I was told that that Nick Sirianni's sister is deaf, and he got all teary-eyed because the national anthem, whoever was doing the interpretation. That's what I heard.
Is that the way it is?
That's what I heard. I could be 100% wrong, but that's what I heard. I'm reciting it like it's straight knowledge.
I had to look it up real quick, but I don't see anything. But we'll see. Like I said, but either way, like I said, I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to probably not play their starters, which is going to increase the likeliness of us potentially finding a way to win. But I feel like at this point, I hate to say it, but I feel like the Eagles' backups are probably still better than our starters.
Well, because our starters are third string.
At this point, they are.
So that's what I was getting at. It's like we're looking at a preseason game.
Yeah, they our starters basically were last week, at work looking at their employee
They're at Foot Locker
month award that was given to Kurt Warner 20 years ago, saying that bagging groceries at the Piggly Wiggly or whatever he was working at. So, like I said, we'll see. But that's the vibe I get. That's the vibe I get of what's going to happen. And they've sat the starters before. And as I said, I don't think it's them trying to hurt us. I really don't. But I don't think they would complain if they hurt us either. It'd be like an added benefit. Their bigger concern is themselves and trying to get to a Super Bowl and trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, because let's be honest, because if the roles were reversed, Giants, we have 12 wins. We're playing against an Eagles team that had, well, we'll probably have 13 wins at that point because what they're playing, if this is how we're looking at it. And you're playing a team that has 2 wins.
Yeah.
Why would you start your starters when you know you clinched the playoff spot? It does not make sense.
Unless they play him for a little bit, then get out when they get up. That's potential, but I just don't see it. I think that, like I said, I think it's going to be treated like you said, a preseason game. They've been treated that way. So we'll see what happens, though. All right, guys, let's get into our picks for the week here. So first off, we do have to give our final recap since Monday Night Football ended there after our show. We ended the week with me getting 37 points and Rob getting 27. So I currently have a 20-point lead on the season with 2 weeks to go. Rob, are you feeling it yet? You've been saying all year long about a miraculous comeback like last year towards the end of the season. Seems like the miracle is over. Unless you're like Reggie Miller shooting all these 3-pointers in the last second to beat the Knicks. So let's see what he's got. So I can see you don't have your picks even filled out yet. Get your over-unders in there. So we'll give you guys a recap real quick while Rob's doing that of the games we had there. Just yesterday, the Christmas Day, which, by the way, hear LeBron's comments.
No,
he's like, "Oh, Christmas still belongs to the NBA." I'm sorry, no, it doesn't. The NBA
never has.
It's all, and it's funny because I keep seeing things about the NBA being down right now because all it is 3-pointers. Like guys literally have open shots, they'll move backwards behind the 3-point line to shoot a 3-pointer. Like that's what it's become. And I've said for years, all the NBA was is 3 points and dunks and drama from people that think they're stars that aren't even that good. Like, I've been proven right. Anyway, though, the games yesterday, you had the Ravens shellacking the Texans 31-2. And listen, we both said, we had the same picture of the first 3 games here, but it's like we both said it's going to be not even a close game, but I didn't expect that bad. Woof. And then the Chiefs 29-10 yesterday, a much bigger win than they typically get. Usually, for some reason, they just get a 3-point win. But in this case here, they destroyed the spread. We said we do because it was 2.5-point spread. They usually win by 3. They won by 19 points. So pretty damn good. So, and then right now, like I said, we're in third quarter for the Seahawks-Bears games as recording this live here. So hopefully by the end, we'll have a better clarity as far as what's going to happen in that game there to give you guys too. So let's start off with our Saturday games, which
Saturday.
Can I put the disco lights back on? There we go.
Disco Stu. Disco Drew is in the house.
Disco Drew. All right, Rob. Why don't you start off with the 1 o'clock game there?
All right.
All right.
We got the Falcon. 1 o'clock games. We got the Chargers going into Foxborough playing the Patriots. And the Patriots are 4-point underdogs in this game. Yeah, Drew, this is pretty simple. The Patriots did play close against the Bills.
Yep.
They did. They've been playing decent football for a bad football team, but the Chargers are the ones that made a big come around. I think this is going to be one of those low-scoring games. The Chargers have not ran the ball as efficiently as they wanted this year, but at the same time, like, their defense is also stepped up big time. So you're looking at a game in cold weather where the Chargers are going to come in. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to do some dink and dunks. You're not going to see some big plays on the field, and you're going to get a Chargers win. Obviously, they're going to cover, and it's probably going to be like a win by 7 points, but it's going to be in the under.
Yeah, and I'm 100% with you. It's going to be a game. The defense for the Chargers is just better than a young quarterback, and that's what just happens sometimes. You got to give them a little chance to kind of learn the NFL there. And this is going to be a lesson here at 1 o'clock. So the 4:30 game, we got the Broncos at the Bengals. Bengals are 3-point underdogs here. 3-point favorites, I should say. And the over-under is 49.5. And once again, Rob, what's going on here? We're this close to being exactly right. You have one here. This will be the first game you and I have anything different. But I got the Broncos winning this. I just think that this is a very important game for both teams for playoff reasons. The Broncos clinch a playoff spot with the win. The the Bengals get knocked out of the playoffs officially if they lose this game here. I think that's what's going to happen. I think the Broncos are officially in the playoffs with Bo Nix's rookie year. Crazy. So I got the Broncos to win. I got them obviously to cover the 3 points. It's not that huge of a spread. I got the over on the points because let's be honest, the Bengals defense kind of sucks. And Bo Nix, every so often, it's like it's hard to figure out the over under on the Broncos. Every so often, he has a really good game, and then every so often, it's a really, really bad game, and you just don't know what you're going to get. It's like Bo Nix is like a box of chocolates. You just never know what
you just never know what you're going to get with the Bo Nix.
That's what I got. I got him going on this one here. And by the way, Rob, if you're curious what your animal is this week, there's 2 of them somehow, which makes no sense to me. We got anonymous dinosaur and anonymous narwhal. I don't know if you're on 2 screens while you're looking at this.
Oh, I was, but I'll take both of them because it was the best 2 picks I've had all year.
Swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion.
Don't let them hit you in the balls.
Oh gosh, that's a whole different song. Anyway,
stay one. But yes, I agree with what you're saying, and I originally put down the Broncos to win this game. But this is what's going to change. And this is what changed my mind as I thought about this on my long drive home today from work. The thing we do agree on is the over. I think there's going to be some thrown around. Bengals defense is trash. You said that.
Yeah.
The Broncos defense, way better. Arguably top 5 in this league. Most games. But Joe Burrow himself and this Bengals offense is one of the best offenses in the league. They've been lights out, and it's kind of been a robbery of like how bad everyone else has been on this team for them. Because you want to hear a crazy stat? Most consecutive games with 250-yard pass yards and 3 touchdowns in NFL history. In 2012, Payne Manning did that with 5. Aaron Rodgers did that as well in 2012, 2013. You know who else did 5? Oh, wait, that's Steve Young in 1998. Tom Brady did 6 in 2007. And Joe Burrow is now on 7 consecutive games with 250 passing yards.
Very good year.
He's having a lights out year.
Yes.
And so, in my mind, the Bengals offense is the best point of football. Now you're taking Bo Nix, who has been flashy. You just said it yourself. He's going in on an away game in cold weather. Granted, they're in a mile high, but it's a little different weather out there. And he's going to play.
That's the Bengals. That's Cincinnati.
Where do you think the Bengals play?
I just said mile high.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, you have Bo Nix who's used to playing in the mile high going into.
I misheard. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, going into Cincinnati.
I don't want any complaining when I whoop your butt again this week.
So he's going into Cincinnati. You're taking a rookie quarterback who's played well, really well at home, who's been spotty on the road, against one of the best quarterbacks that's actively playing in this league right now.
You know,
I think I'm going to take
here is the Heat needs to have some of that chili with the spaghetti that they're known for in Cincinnati. That'll warm them up, get them ready for the game.
You might be right.
I'd probably not,
but probably not. I think the Bengals win this in a squeaky game. Squeaky. But since they're underdogs, I'm going to take them to win all around. They give them the 3 points favorites at home just because they're at home. So Bengals over.
All righty. Next up,
you the 8:00 game on Saturday. You got the Cardinals going into LA, playing the rest. Saturday game.
It's weird. Doesn't it sound weird still? NFL on Saturday.
Well, yeah, but it's the season now. You got the Cardinals going into LA playing the Rams. The Rams are favored in this game by 6.5 points, with the over/under being at 47.5. This is a crazy game because this division, a little over a month and a half ago, was at a 3-way tie, close to a 4-way tie if you want to go back 2 months ago. They've been playing each other like
good
crazy.
old-fashioned four-way.
Good old-fashioned four-way. This is a dire game for the Rams. Seahawks need to win this game as well that they're playing currently, and they're not playing that great. So the Rams got to come in here, win this game, but they're playing a division game where the Cardinals always play them tough. Yeah. So I think the Rams are going to come in here. The Cardinals were good earlier this year playing the defense, but they've kind of let off the cannon, if you will, and not played that well so much. Yep. I do think it's going to be an under game, and I'm going to take the Rams to win this, and I'm actually going to take the Rams to cover because you know what they have done the past 4 seasons? The Rams have gone 14-3 in the past 4 years in the month of December. They have the highest winning here. They have the highest winning percentage in December in the past 4 years.
You know, it's another interesting stat as well. The Cardinals 7-8 in the year, just 2-5 on the road. Not very good road team. 5-3 at home, 2-5 on the road. You know what that means? True. At the end of the game, the Rams are dancing. The Rams are dancing here. We got the Rams. I got the Rams to win. I do have the Cardinals though beating the spread at that point. 6.5 points, a little rich for my blood. And I do have the under on the points, same as you do. And like I said, this is an important game for the NFC West as a whole, which it become that division that if it wasn't for the NFC South, you would say, "Oh my God, this division is horrible," because all the good teams are apparently in the NFC North and the NFC East. You know, they got 5 of all 5 of the teams that are over 10 wins so far this season are all in those 2 divisions. But you know, you look at the game, and this could potentially make it very much close to clinching. I'd have to see what the tiebreaker is for the Rams to get the division.
If Rams win this, they have 9 wins. Oh, they have 9 wins currently. So they win this, they're at 10 wins. So they're 10, right there.
But the Seahawks would have 9 if they win tonight. And I just don't know who the tiebreaker is, where if the Rams potentially lose the last game. Yeah. And I have to look into it. I don't pretend to know the tiebreakers off the top of my head there. But that's it's an important one. It really is.
Yeah.
Next up, we got I got the game of the week here. 1 o'clock. It is the Colts at the Giants, and the Giants' last home game here of the season. It's Colonel Custard's last stand as we got the Colts just listen.
Colonel Shane.
The Colts could win. We suck. It's so bad. That's where I'm down to. Like usually I'm like, we don't suck. We just have this problem. No, we suck. We're 2 wins, guys, and we want to lose. Yeah. So we're betting on the Colts to win. The 7.5 point spread sounds ridiculous, but guess what? Colts to beat the spread. I got the under on the points because I think it's going to be like it's been the last couple weeks, where the Giants just do like less than 10 points and they give up like 30 points. Because in the end, we can't stop anyone because we help them scoring with our crappy offense.
100%.
Again, last week, the offense almost gave as much points up as the defense did. That's bad.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Like, we're going to get spanked by the Colts. Stomped the field. Stampeded.
Exactly.
But
luckily it's a colt, not an adult horse. That's the big thing.
Yeah, not a Bronco.
Yes. Well, I wonder if they talk trash in the Battle of the Horses at that point. You're just
right.
Colt. I'm a Bronco. God damn it.
Yeah. But I wouldn't differ with you because I'm going to take the over in this game because I don't have faith in the Giants' offense nor their defense, and I think it's going to be something similar of last week. So you're talking that you need 41 points on the board when the other team is probably going to put up 30 and change on the board to the Giants 10. I'm going to take the risky move and say the Giants are going to get spanked once again.
Yep. I think whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's bad as the actual game risk.
Yeah. And then up next, talk about a crappy New York team. You got the Jets playing the Bills. And Buffalo. them Bills are favored by 8.5 points.
In Mother Russia.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be like.
I saw a thing on him, Yakov Smirnoff. Apparently, he's doing he owns some place in Branson, Missouri, and that's where he does shows now.
Good for him.
I haven't heard of that name in forever. I don't know why it randomly popped up in an article online.
Road Fork you.
In Mother Russia. He's like, once the Soviet wall came down, no one thought I was funny anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, poor guy. Who would have thought
that
peace would hurt him? Who knows? Might go back to war with them. Maybe that'll help his career. Who knows? He should.
I'd rather him be irrelevant.
He should sit up in Ukraine. It'd be a perfect place for a comedy show.
Yeah.
I'm serious in all fairness. I mean, who eats Russia more than the Ukrainians right now?
Yeah, wrong.
Yeah,
but they were part of. Anyway, yeah. We don't need to get geopolitics.
It's not politics. Discussing career advancement for struggling comedians.
I was going to say geopolitics because Ukraine was part of Russia when he did all that.
It was.
And the wall fell down.
History.
But geopolitics as well.
Yes.
Anyway.
Semantics.
Jets go into Buffalo, play the Bills. Bills are favored by 8. Bills are favored by 8.5 points, with the over-under being at 46.5 points. There's not much to be said that needs to be said about this game, except for a bunch of quick highlights. Jets suck. Bills
is short. Can't leave things unsaid.
Jets suck. Bills are fantastic. Aaron Rodgers got a new girlfriend, which historically, every time he gets a new girlfriend, I guess he gets slayed too much. Throws like crap. Bills defense way better. Josh Allen is the Winter Soldier.
Josh Allen's his girlfriend?
No, Josh Allen's the Winter Soldier. Josh Allen's the Winter Soldier. The Bills are the second best team in that stretch I was just talking about in the month of December at 13-3, just behind the Rams. And Josh Allen is probably leading the category for MVP. So he is not going to let an age-old Aaron Rodgers, who's getting laid too much, beat him when he's striving to go to the playoffs and beat Patrick Mahomes. So this is, to me, is going to be, I'm not going to say a blowout, but damn near one. So Bills in the over.
Okay, I'm still trying to find out who Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend is here.
Oh, you got to go back right before New Year's. He said something about
it's Britney, but it's not Britney Spears. I don't know why somebody would automatically think it's Britney Spears.
No, he dropped on the Pac-Man V show right
Britney
before Christmas. Yeah, right before New Year's Eve.
Okay,
he's like, the lady and I are doing this for others. Yeah.
Whoa. That reminds me of the what's the guy, John Mulaney, the comedian? You ever see the skit he did about Tom Jones?
Probably.
You just look up John Mulaney, What's New Pussycat, and it's about him going to a diner and playing that over and over again on repeat. It's one of the most hilarious skits you'll ever hear in your entire life. Anyway, yeah. So you and I are seeing everything the same exact way in that game. Bills over. Next up, we got the Titans at the Jaguars here. Ooh, talk about a battle of the Titans.
Yeah.
At least half of them are Titans in name only. Guys, listen, the Jaguars just lost to the Raiders. They are really bad. The Titans are also really bad. It's just like I feel like this game should end in a tie. It just seems fitting. But I'm going to go with the Titans to win this and to cover the 1 point spread. I don't know. I feel like maybe the Mac Jones magic is gone after the first week. He didn't have a horrible week, but then last week, again, he lost to the Raiders. So yeah, I'm going to go obviously under on the points because neither one of them has a good quarterback. So Titans under, but I would not bet a dime on this game, guys.
No. There's another game very similar to this game that I'm going to say pretty much the same thing. I agree with you. This is the under. This is a trash ball game. It is just going to be a sloppy down south. Sloppy Joes, but not extra sloppy, just very extra sort of
always extra sloppy.
Very coagulated on your stale buns in the bottom.
You call my buns stale? Wow.
super stale. But I want to take the Jaguars at home because these are two trash teams that both don't want to play.
No.
But the team that doesn't have to travel historically is the team that wins.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought about that, honestly.
And that's my logic in this game. I also have got burned by the Titans quite a bit in the past few weeks. So here's to you guys out there. Here's to you and your mayo and your coffee. Will Levis, we're a divorce. Don't talk to me anymore. It's over.
Oh, my.
Let's play another crappy team.
Next up, the Crappy Bowl 2.0.
Yep. You got the Raiders going into the Saints. The
That
Saints
just sounded bad.
Yeah, the Raiders
are going into the Saints.
Oh, they're raiding New Orleans big time. Looking for that booty.
I'm sure they are.
The over in this game is at 37.5 points, which is the lowest of the week. My God. This is a garbage bowl. The one thing I would probably bet on this game is the under, but I would probably hit El Paso and go right past this game and don't be like, oh, one of these are locking. Both trash teams, both terrible. New Orleans came in as with the hottest team in football, went 2-0 and just straight up went down Bourbon Street and has played like trash. And you know what's going on with the Raiders? 32nd place draft pick right now. It is not a good situation in Vegas at all.
Yeah. They're just they lost that first pick, went down to 6th.
Yeah, and they want to lose. They probably want to lose. The Saints also are coming off a bad loss as well. Both quarterbacks of both the teams are trash. Once again, home team advantage. I give it to the Saints and the trash-tastic team of two teams that don't want to play. Saints win, Saints cover.
I'm going to the Raider Bowl here again. I think that the Raiders the Saints are just that bad right now. And imagine the Raiders winning 2 games in a row and getting out of the top 10. Like, they lost all chance to getting a quarterback. Like, hello, Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like, that's what your options are at this point, guys. Like, this is what the Giants did last year, basically. It's like you win a couple games towards the end that don't mean a damn thing, and you go from being a top pick to being, top 10 pick instead of a top 5, top 3. Like, yeah.
Like they were. Yeah.
Being DeVito'd right now. So I got the Raiders, and the under with you as well. Next up, we have a game that at least one of the teams is good. The Panthers at the Buccaneers, and the Bucs got kind of shellacked there last week there in a game that people thought they would probably beat the Cowboys, but things did not go their way. I don't think that's what happens this week. I think the Buccaneers come back with a vengeance. It's a home game for them, and let's be honest again, this is a very important game for them as far as playoffs because both them and the Falcons are 8-7, and they know. I think pretty sure the Falcons have the tiebreaker in this too. I have to look it up to verify. So it's like, and I assume that way because the standings are that way right now when they're tied. Actually, looking it up, so they need them to win and hope the Falcons lose one of the next 2 games at that point there. So, and this week could be a good chance for that. We'll talk about that game later. So yeah, I think Bucs win. I think Bucs will cover the 8-point spread, which I know is a lot. And the Panthers haven't been as bad lately. But just something tells me that they're gonna, have a little bit of an issue playing here away, where they're a 1-5 record right now this year, away. So put that into perspective. They literally are the second worst away team in the entire NFC. By the way, the team that's only one that's worse is the Bears, who are 0-7 right now on the road. That's pretty damn bad.
And they're 9 straight losses, and they're
still
losing.
So I'm gonna go with the Bucs to destroy them here. I do have the over on the points as well because I think there's gonna be enough points scored by the Panthers that it's going to be just like a 10-point win at that point. Like, it's going to make a 30-20 kind of game, like that kind of range there. So yeah, I definitely got the over on the points there.
Yeah, the Bucs should win this game. a lot's running. Yeah, there's a lot on the line for them. They also, like you said, they should have won against the Cowboys. They lost against the Cowboys. They win this game. They also just played the Panthers very recently in overtime with the overtime win. So like let's not forget that. Like this is a team that's played the Bucks very close and they're playing good. So I'm taking the Panthers to cover here, but I'm going to take the under. I do think they're going to win. The Bucks are going to win. They're probably going to win by like I'm going to say 6 points. I don't quite think it's going to be a touchdown, but I think it's going to be enough to not get the over here. So
it's a very
close game.
Very aggressive over under and a very aggressive spread there. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and a big divisional game.
Yeah,
but you know what should have been more aggressive of a spread? It's the game coming up.
Mike, what I got from Geico.
Oh, and never mind. Let's talk about it. This is a family show. Let's go do something else. 4:00 on Sunday. You got the Dolphins going into Cleveland.
I don't know why I'm trying to figure out doing a Dolphins sound. You know,
you sound like a pigeon.
Like a pigeon. Reminds me of the good
Browns.
Remember the Good Feathers on Animaniacs?
Ah, fantastic.
Oh,
great
spectacular.
Show.
Anybody who's too young to know what that is, because that's like 30 years ago, that show now. Look up Animaniacs Good Feathers. But they did remake a new season of it on Hulu a couple years ago.
Yeah, I don't recall if I never watched it. I watched some of the skits.
So I don't know if I don't know if they brought the Good Feathers back.
It's not, yeah.
I feel like that's probably too violent for this generation.
Maybe. Making fun of the good feathers. Anyway, so the Finns are favored in this game by 6.5 points with the over-under being at 40. There's a lot to be said about this game, but also there's not a lot to be said about this game. The Dolphins are a way better team. They start running the ball pretty well last week. They start getting their offense clicking on better cylinders. The Browns' defense has been terrible. The Browns' offense has been just not complacent all year long. But the thing you also got to think about is, can Mike McDaniel win a game in cold weather under 60 degrees? Because they're playing in Cleveland, and it is not Miami. So where do you go here? I think the Browns are that bad of a team where the Dolphins are going to win this game. They are going to cover this game. And I think it's going to be in the under because I think it's going to be a lackluster game. Dolphins, like I said, they've been running the football better. They've been playing a little bit more smash mouth, and their defense is something that a lot of people have not been talking about. So if it goes in the over, it's because Winston's playing and he throws a couple of pick sixes.
See, I feel like the Browns have a potential to do something special here real quick because they want to get out of QB help. They got Jameis Winston, obviously, but the big one is obviously Deshaun Watson, who's going to be coming back next year. He's on the guaranteed contracts. They can't even really get rid of him if they, But guys, they're 3-12. They're right there. They've lost 4 in a row. Let's say hypothetically here that they lose again. Well, the Jaguars or the Titans are going to lose this week. That's safe to say, unless they both tie. Then they both.
Yep.
So they're going to move up to the 4th position in this draft, potentially, assuming the Patriots also lose. That means, let's say the Jaguars win, because I think you put the Jaguars, right?
Yep, you put Titans up with the Jags.
So let's say the Jaguars win hypothetically, and you're right, because it's possible. Like I said, I wouldn't even bet that game. If the Jaguars win, hypothetically, then now they go to the 4th, and they have the Giants, Patriots, and Titans ahead of them. But if the Titans win, like I said, now you got the Giants, the Patriots, and the Jaguars. Patriots just got a quarterback. Jaguars just signed a quarterback. Cleveland has a potential here to go with whatever quarterback the Giants didn't take.
Or be aggressive with trading up because they're also Titans have Mr. Levis himself, who's not played well, but he's also been a great meme generator
But I'm saying they have a chance to get at least one more position up this week, and that's a big thing for them. So, like I said, it's interesting how that's going to work out. I got the Dolphins winning this. I got the Dolphins covering. I got the over. Is there anything I'm different than you on? I just have this feeling, this vibe that the Dolphins are going to put up a ton of points in this game. We'll see.
I wish. Listen, I'm going to fantasy finals this week. I have Tyreek Hill, so do your thing, dude, and put some points up.
Now let's backtrack for a minute because we accidentally skipped a game here, the last 1:00 game, the Cowboys at the Eagles. I know you want to skip it because we want this to end in a tie.
Trash ball.
But let's be honest here, the Eagles are a better team, but they also have the issue of Kenny Pickett, Mr. Tiny Hands himself, as the quarterback potentially this week. I'm still going to say the Eagles are going to win. Just something tells me the Cowboys got the last bit of magic they had this season last week there against the Buccaneers. So I got the Eagles to win. I got them to cover the 6.5 point spread. And it'll be close. It'll probably be a touchdown difference. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout by any means. And I had the under on the 39.5 points as well because I just don't think they're going to put up a lot of points, being that both teams, there's no Jalen Hurts potentially, there's no Dak Prescott, and the whole slew of other injuries obviously the Cowboys have as well. So, yeah, Eagles under.
Yeah, Eagles are definitely winning this game. It doesn't matter if they start their second string because
I wouldn't say that. It's my pick, but
I'm saying that because historically the Eagles for the past few years have had the Cowboys number, but they've always played them close. So I'm going to take the Cowboys in the spread here, especially like I talked about Jalen Hurts is probably going to he's probably playing this game. But once you get to a comfortable lead around halftime, they're probably going to sit him if he starts. And they're going to put in Kenny Pickett. And they're going to have a comfortable enough lead where they're going to give it up enough, but still win this game because they're going to run the ball a lot. I do think it's going to go it's going to stay in the over because 40 points to me is 2020. It's going to be probably like a 21-24 game in my eyes. Maybe 21-27. So I think the Cowboys do enough to cover the spread because they get enough trash time points.
Oh, yes. Can't forget the trash time points.
So, yes, Eagles win, Cowboys cover, and the under.
All right. Next
up, you got actually one of the best games of the week. It is a very important game. There's people going back and forth. I may be sleeping alone this weekend with some of my picks. But you got the Packers going to Minnesota. The Vikings are just they're not even they're giving up a point at home.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Absolutely insane.
But I mean, you should say push or Vegas. You should give the Vikings they're leaning the second place in this division, behind the best place in the NFC. You probably respect them a little more, but then again, I talked about the best teams in December. Know who's third place in December? The Packers. Statistically speaking, when they catch on, and they granted there's a couple of Aaron Rodgers years there. Even last year, they went, I think 3-1.
Well, everybody loves a good fancy cheese during Christmas time.
Oh, that's a good little charcuterie board out there.
Charcuterie. And then a nice brie.
Yeah. The Packers have found multiple different ways to win, which is impressive. That they could throw the ball. Love looks like he's kind of come more towards where he was from a year ago to at this point. They're running the ball efficiently. They play smash mouth football efficiently. But it's not, I don't think it's going to be enough to get over the dominance of what Minnesota has done all year long, especially when they're playing Minnesota at home.
Yeah.
And this is a divisional game in a very tight division who hate one another, but they all agree the Bears are funny because they've been trashed for 40 years.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Vikings to win, the Vikings to cover, obviously. And I'm going to take the over in this game. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I almost took the under in this game, thinking it's going to be a little more smash mouth, but I think it's going to be more of a gunslinging kind of style football.
You're an all-star?
Hey, now, you're an all-star, Drew. Get your picks in. Go tell us.
I'm with you almost 100% here. Almost 100% here because the Vikings, I think, are going to win. Listen, guys, they won 8 games in a row. That's basically half a season. Think about it. We can't even get one win in this half a season. They've got all like it's bad. But the Vikings, 8 wins in a row. They're at home. They are a slightly better record, a slightly better team than the Green Bay Packers are. Not that the Packers are bad. The Packers are one of the better teams in the NFC, obviously. No disrespect to them.
No, not at all.
Strike gold for a third time in a row with the quarterback position. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I got the Vikings to win and cover the 1 point because that's just a bogus thing at that point. But I do have the under. I think it's going to be a little more defensive than people think. And I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring game by any means. But I think it's going to be, one of those games that's like a 24-21 kind of game at that point there. And it'll be just a little bit under that 48.5 point spread there.
I mean, you could be very, very right because this game could be one of those games. It could be very under.
Yep.
If the defenses come to play. But I think that warm weather in the dome, I think that ball is going to be flying. It's not like they're playing in Lambeau.
Whoa, ball's flying in the dome. What's going on? What's going on here?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I saw a movie named that one time. It was not good.
I don't know what you're watching.
I don't know. It's on some kind of website.
You got to check your age for verification.
Yeah, actually, we're in Florida now. You have to do that now. Seriously, you have to actually show your driver's license to get on those websites now. It's like who's gonna do that?
Yeah, right.
That's definitely not gonna go in a statewide database of any kind.
Yeah,
you're fine.
This man's only watched this website 47 times in the past 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm telling you, dude, and that's starting to be in some states now. It's good. It's weird, dude. Like, who's gonna put I'm not putting my name and picture to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Get me.
He's only logged in once, but he's got 47 hours of run time.
Sanity. Who's got VPNs? What?
Yeah.
All right. So we got the next game up here is the Falcons at the Commanders, guys. Another big matchup here between two teams that seem to be destined potentially to get into the postseason. Commanders obviously have already punched their ticket in, I'm pretty sure. They're one of the few teams with double-digit wins so far this season. But in the end, you got also a Falcons team that's fighting for a chance to get into the divisional victory there. But they're also the last place right now for the wild card position in the NFC, worst case scenario. So I feel like this is going to be an interesting challenge for both teams. You got the second game for Michael Penix Jr. against a very well-coached team defensively, but not a very good, well-talented team, for lack of a better term, on defense. At the same point, you got the Commanders who, went through a little bit of a rough patch there this season here. No, obviously not too bad of a rough patch. That's why they're, got 10 wins in the season here. But, for a little bit there, people are like, oh, maybe we spoke too soon. But now they've won 3 games in a row. They're starting clicking again. And I just think at this point, it's a fun matchup. He's got Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix. Like, this could be one of those matchups you see for years to come in the NFL, depending on how these two careers pan out. But yeah, I think in the end, the Commanders come in at the right time. The Falcons have looked pretty bad, minus the wins they've had against the Raiders and the Giants, 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. So this ain't the Raiders or Giants they're facing. They're facing a legit team. So I got the Commanders to win. I got them to cover the 4-point spread. And I got the over on the 47.5. I think it'll be a decent scoring game here. But I think it's going to be one of those games that just, more like a 24 to, 31 kind of game, that kind of thing. I think it's going to be a decent scoring game.
Yeah. We disagree a lot in this game because I do think defense. I think the defense is going to show up in this game. I think you're talking about rookie quarterback, and that's what's going to be talked about this game. You got Jaden Daniels, who's number 2 pick of this draft when it comes to quarterback, who has played pretty darn good for his rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penix Jr. started against the Giants. It wasn't hard, but they beat up on the Giants.
That's not saying much.
No.
It's like stealing lunch money from a preschooler.
Yeah. But also, like you said, the Commanders just went through a little bit of a dry patch, if you will. They just kind of they weren't playing as great football, and this is a do or die situation for the Falcons because they know the Bucs are right there, nipping at the toes, bucking at the feet, if you will.
They were in a dry spell. Now they're trying to get over the hump.
Yep, and
it's like a dry hump situation.
A little bit because they'll be right there in DC by the water to get a little wet.
Oh my!
Oh my! So the Falcons are going to fly in there. I think it's going to be a rock and sock football game. I think that the Falcons are going to win.
Sock them. Get robots.
Oh yeah. I should take the Commanders, but I'll put the Falcons on the paper. I think I should take the Commanders in the spread.
I know you like the Falcons. You picked them 3 times.
Oh, 3 freaking times. Twice. What are you talking about? I did pick them 3 times, apparently. Look at that.
The spread pick for next game as well.
I should fix all that.
There you go. Let's go to the next game. Who you got there, Rob?
All right, next game, we got the Lions going. Monday night. You got the Falcons, the best team in the NFC right now, going in on a rematch of the NFC Championship of last year, playing the Niners, who've been lackluster this year due to injury, not because of any fault of talent. Well, I guess of talent not being there because they're injured.
Healthy talent.
Yeah, healthy talent. The Niners, for some reason, is that true? They're favored 3.5 points at home.
They're getting 3.5 points.
There you go. Put the over/under at 50.5 points, which is crazy talk.
Yes, that is over/under of the week.
Yeah. So here's the scenario you got to look at. The Lions are number 1 in the division right now. The Lions are number 1 in NFC. People are like, they should probably take some off the gas. But guess what's happening? They're in the best division in football right now, who has the second place team that with the best record in the NFC, with a third place team and third place. Pretty much, yeah. Right, we talked about it because the next best team is the Commanders. So I take that back. Eagles are in there. So the third place Green Bay Packers are right behind the Eagles. Who's the number 2 seed in the draft?
Who work for?
Not Green Bay Packers. But this is very important for the Lions to win, to dominate that first seed that they want. Dan Campbell does not let off the gas in any game he plays.
Oh, at this point, they have to lose both games, and the Eagles have to win both games and to lose the first seed in this. But if they win there, it's wrapped up.
Yeah. How many wins do they have currently?
They are 13.
How many wins does Minnesota have?
13.
So this is a very important, once again, for the Lions to win this.
Oh, I didn't think about the no. Oh, I didn't even think about that part. They've had it wrapped up, it seems like, for so long. You're right. Ooh.
100% right. Ooh. And Green Bay's got 11 wins right now. So if they lose out, Green Bay wins outright, there's a possibility that the Lions are knocked down to third place in that division. This is a very important game. And to put the icing on the cake of why the Lions are going to go in there guns blazing, is they lost.
Cream cheese icing? I love cream cheese icing.
It could be whatever kind of cream you like.
Whoa.
But they lost. They should have been in the Super Bowl. They lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship. They have not played. Dan Campbell was going to go into the locker room and goes, don't let off the gas.
Oh, yeah.
Destroy. Seek and destroy. Win. Win. That's right. Seek and destroy. 100%. They're going to come out playing Seek and Destroy.
Just don't let Lars do the pep talk.
No.
Lars Ultra should not be doing a pep talk.
So I'm taking the Lions to win this game. I'm taking the Lions to cover, and it's going to be the over because I think Dan Campbell's not going to let up in this game, and they should win this game because the Niners, this should be a great game. Everyone saw this after the NFC Championship on the schedule, be like, oh, week 17, this is going to be a fantastic playoff game. The Niners have been so beat up that it makes it hard for you to say they should turn around and win this game.
Yeah.
But with everything running the line, Lions are going to go in there unless there's no crazy injury. Knock on wood. They're probably going to put up 40 points themselves in this game. 45 points.
Yeah, it's going to be a high scoring game. I'm with you on that. I think it's going to be really high scoring. I mean, we're the same all around. I got Lions over. I think it's going to be that kind of game. So when it really boils down to, I think there's 3 games this week that you and I are going to change up and potentially have our deciding factors, and that's going to be the Titans Jags, the Raiders Saints, and the what was the last one? Oh yeah, the Falcons and the Commanders. Probably decide our week for us. So.
Well, we got different over-unders, different games, and we got some different spread picks. But those are the big ones, and those are the ones that are going to catch me up with trifectas.
Oh, there we go. Probably not. I have a 11-point lead there for you on that. So that's going to call it a day for us guys there. We'll be back again for you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow night is a special edition of Two Giant Goofballs because we missed Christmas because we're not going to skip time with our family. Sorry, guys. We love you, but not that much. So we're going to be back tomorrow doing our 3rd episode for the week there. And, of course, we'll be back again on Sunday as well doing our coverage of the latest Giants loss to the Colts. We're already calling it. But, keep an eye out. We may also do a play-by-play special as well. I might be available to do that. I know some of you guys like doing that, and we got a lot of comments last time we didn't do it. Like, whoa, where's the play-by-play? So maybe we'll look to do that again for you guys. We'll be back again, like I said, for you guys. Then tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. You got 3 out of the next 4 days. You got goofball action here, guys. That's more goofball than one person can handle.
Yeah.
So
depends on a lucky person.
Yes. So as always, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite.
Thursday game. Oh God.
And of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms as well: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, all of the big ones there. Appreciate you guys for watching. As always, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. And as always, Giant fans,
go Giant!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.